Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm OJ, Juice Loops Live. I went out to do today's drawing and it is very cold out. I've decided to bring it back indoors and get this one done inside. The wind was a little bit extra harsh down on the river. This is the Wheeling riverfront area here. They have concerts and shows and fireworks, but I think of it as a skate spot. I've been coming here since I was a little kid. Me and my crew, even before any of us could drive, we would ride the bus up here or simply just skate the entire distance. Since we're doing this inside and I'm working off of reference videos, reference photos, I'm going to do a rough layout in my notebook just to get an approximate layout of what I want this drawing to look like. My vision for this drawing is covering a very vast area. Even a wide-angle fisheye lens couldn't capture this whole scene. The suspension bridge is right there. No matter how I would capture it on camera, it's going to feel like it's farther back in the distance than it actually is. So I'm going to be exaggerating the size of it and basically playing with the shapes and the sizes of everything in this image to get it to fit just right, make the image look good. After I get this rough layout and the notebook done as quickly but as accurately as possible, I'm going to try and copy that layout over to the actual paper that I'm going to be working on, which is a really great light brown paper. I've been coming here my whole life, but specifically to skate since I was probably 14. The very northernmost section of this waterfront area has all the real spots at it. It's kind of a little more secluded too, so nobody would really hassle you for skating there. It's an iconic Wheeling skate spot. If you've skated here, most likely you've skated here. It's one of the few very legit spots that Wheeling has. There are other spots, but they're crusty and dusty, and they're sprinkled throughout the town. There's several spots all kind of condensed into one area. Got some hills, got a lot of ledges, got the water, seen a few people's board go in the river. Shout out Coin. This bridge actually goes over to the island and then dips into Bridgeport where he's from. Sorry I didn't shout out Bridgeport in the last video. After the layout's in there, I'm going to block in some white, the sky, the river, the side of the buildings that's catching the reflections, of course. Do a few line corrections, and that's no big deal. We're going to cover that up as we go, or I'm going to call it a camouflaged correction. Some of these lines and these marks are very apparent that it was a mistake and that I made a correction to it. As I work this in, fill in the detail, fill in the colors, I'm going to camouflage that correction so that you don't even see it and it just looks like it were part of the drawing in the first place. Just to keep the drawing moving along, I'm going to fill in some of these dark areas, block in what I would consider to be the shady side of these buildings. I am going to try and leave some of the window detail, the color of the paper, just leaving it as negative space. They're going to just stylistically deteriorate into the distance. I want the drawing to be more so entertaining than accurate. Although I do want this image in this location to be recognizable, just like all my other drawings. The metallic gold, if it's not catching any light, is not a big contrast from the color of the paper. Once it does catch a little bit of light and you see that reflection, it's a really nice complement to the paper. Hard edge shading versus soft edge shading. I'm being very selective with the things that I use a very hard edge black, and then I'm also very aware of the stuff that I'm using a soft edge shading. Feathered edge, the soft edge stuff is gonna give it a little more of a shadow feel. It's gonna give it a little bit more of a worn, rustic feel as well. For a city like Wheeling, is very important, especially a lot of these cobblestone surfaces with different weathered stains and patterns that are kind of built into them at this point. So with that white line work, I'm gonna really, all the cabling and the hard edge highlights, especially with the sun, it's really going to pull that bridge off of the hills. Everything else that I hit with the white Presto highlight is going to have that feeling too. These white lines really pull the whole image together and make it actually feel and look the way that I want it to. This is pretty much wrapped as far as I'm concerned. An ode to my favorite childhood skate spot, the Warf. Thank you for watching. Thank you for caring. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Spread love. Spread peace. The world really needs it right now. I'm OJ, Juice Loops Live. Catch you next Thursday. Bye. The Warf.